Well, thank you again for being here today. I do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us today. I can guarantee you that we're going to get something out of this. We're going to learn a little bit about some stuff, and we're going to be inspired to move forward. Before I begin this presentation, I want to go ahead and I want to do a little exercise, and I want you to join me on this exercise. What I like to do is I like to go ahead and have you close your eyes for a moment. And with your eyes closed, I want you to think back into a time when you were younger. I want you to think, when you're young, I want you to think about you having some fun. And I want you to think about your most favorite toy that you had when you were a kid. I don't want you to tell anybody that toy, but I want you to grasp on that idea and that memory of that most memorable favorite toy. And once you have that toy in mind, I want you to go ahead and slowly open your eyes. Looks like we have some good toys. What I'd like you to do for me right now is I went ahead and I put some sticky notes on your table. I want you to go ahead and write down the name of that favorite toy. Once you write down that favorite toy's name, I want you to go ahead and put it in the toy box. I'm only going to give you 30 seconds to do that. What questions do you have for me on what I'm expecting?
None?
No, we're good.
Okay. Gail, can you do me a favor and tell us what I'm expecting from the group?
You're expecting us to list our favorite toy and put it in the toy box within 30 seconds.
That is amazing. Thank you. Go ahead and do that now. Timer starts now. Thank you, Charlie. Oh, wow. Let's take a look at some of these and go down memory lane. We have the Barbie. Everyone knows that one, right?
Yeah.
Drag behind telephone. That's a classic right there. It's a big throwback. Masters of the Universe. He-Man. Was that you? That was you, wasn't it? Oh man, I remember spending hours playing with He-Man. And I threw this one up there. It's one of my favorites. The old school Nintendo system.
I want to trade with you. I forgot about that one.
That was a great one, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt combination.
Zelda.
Oh, Zelda. It was amazing. It looks like we all have our favorite toy here. And I can guarantee you, if I was to pull out any one of these toys out of this toy box, the actual toy, we'd all know exactly what toy that is. Well, in the next 5 minutes, what I'm going to do is exactly that. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the most recognizable toy out there in the world.
Yeah.
Wow, Slinky.
That's right. A spring, a marvelous thing. Everyone knows this is Slinky. Okay, I'm not the best singer, but we all know that jingle, and we know exactly what this is, right?
Alright.
Everyone knows what this is, but what everyone doesn't know is this was actually made by accident. Like I stated, in the next 5 minutes, we're going to go ahead and talk about how this was made. Let me go ahead and introduce you to the objectives. Our objectives today are we're going to go directly into the invention of the Slinky. After that, we're going to talk about how this remarkable, memorable toy got its name. Following that, we'll talk about how the Slinky really got its big break. Then we'll go ahead and mention the awards and honors it's received. And then we'll finish it up by doing a review. What questions do you have for me on the objectives?
No, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Great. You know, I know how important it is to really talk about this toy. So what I did was I went ahead and I have a worksheet. And I challenge you to fill this worksheet out as we move forward in this presentation. After the presentation, we'll use it in our review.
Okay.
What questions do you have for me on the worksheet?
None.
You're good.
A mechanical engineer back in 1943 was working on some equipment that was designed to make springs out of 80-foot wire into a 2-inch spring. These springs were used in sensitive equipment. When he was working on this machine, he knocked over a whole box of these springs. And to his amazement, the springs didn't just fall and hit the ground. They seemed to walk across the floor. When he saw this, he was amazed. He went straight home that day, and actually individuals who interviewed his wife Betty said that when he came home that evening, he would say, "Honey, if I got the right tension and the right material, I bet I can make wire walk." What would you do if your spouse came home and said that?
Excited.
You'd be excited? Well, I can tell you right now, I don't know what I'd say in that case. Okay, let me show you this right here. Betty wasn't bought into this process at all. So much so that it wasn't until she saw the neighborhood kids playing with it that she really bought into the product itself. She knew right then she needed to name this toy. If you saw this and you were challenged to name it, what would you call it? What's the first thing that pops in your head?
Springy.
Springy?
Coil.
Coil?
Flipper.
Flipper? I would probably go with you, and I'd probably name it like Springy Thingy. What she did was she went to the dictionary and she was looking for a name on this. She actually came across a Swedish word that meant sleek and graceful. And at that point, the Slinky was dubbed. The Slinky had a rough start. It wasn't until 2 years later that James was given the opportunity to go to a department store during that Christmas back in 1945. He was going to do a presentation on the Slinky. He was kind of worried about his presentation, so he actually encouraged one of his neighbors to be the first one to buy a Slinky. So much so that he gave the individual $1 and asked him to buy and purchase the first Slinky. He went ahead and set up an incline and made the thing walk. 90 seconds later, he sold over 400 units. That's when he really put his investment in and started mass producing this amazing product. The Slinky's been inspired by a lot of people, so much so that over the years, the Slinky's been used more than just a toy. It's been used in pigeon to prevent pigeons from standing on the wall, gutter protectors, light fixtures. During the Vietnam War, it was actually used for antennas. It's also used to help protect birdhouses. Gail, can I have you come up for a moment? I want you to hold this end of the Slinky for me.
Okay.
I want you to go ahead and shake it. The Slinky is also used in high schools and colleges to help with physics experiments and how waves operate. Thank you.
Oh, that was close.
Don't worry, I bet when I drop it, it's going to walk. This Slinky right here, this right here also can be found in the Smithsonian, as well as some museums in New York. Some of the awards I like to talk about here is that in 1999, the United States Postal Service went ahead and dubbed a stamp selectively for the Slinky. In 2000, the Slinky was brought into the Toy Hall of Fame, as well as Miss James here, who had the opportunity to be inducted into the Toy Hall of Fame as well. In 2003, this toy is put on the top 100 list of toys of the century. So let's go ahead and do a review. And for that, let's go ahead and use our worksheet here. So can I have someone read the first question for me, please?
Created by mechanical engineer Richard James in 1943, it was the unintended byproduct of a new line of sensitive springs that would help keep fragile equipment steady on shelves.
Right there, Charlie. Thank you. Richard James was the answer. All right, so Betty James, I'm going to read the next one. Betty James here used the dictionary to find the Swedish-based word for Slinky. What does Slinky mean?
Sleek and graceful.
Beautiful. Here's the next one. I'm going to throw it at you. In what year did the Slinky get its big break? Go ahead, Gail.
Sure, the winter of 1945.
Outstanding. The Slinky's been used to inspire a lot of different things outside of it being a toy. Can I have someone give me one of those things?
Keeping birds off the wall.
Absolutely. Give me another one, someone.
Antenna.
Outstanding. In what year was the Slinky named Toy Industry Association Century Toy of the top 100 toys?
2003.
Beautiful. You know, doing this presentation, I actually learned a lot about Slinkies. And it really gave me more information than I even knew that existed about this product. What I like us to do at this time is want us to go ahead and stand on up, and I want you to give me one of your most memorable aha moments about this presentation. Who would like to go first? Lee.
It was a mistake. It was a byproduct.
It was. It's amazing, thank you.
I was really surprised that when he came home, his wife didn't support him off the bat right away.
It took a little convincing, but she was on board.
Also probably just going back in history, the year when Slinky first got his big break.
That's right. A lot of us really think of the Slinky back as a toy from the 60s. It was pretty surprising to see how far back it really did root.
Yeah, thought the same thing.
Well, I'd like to go ahead and leave you on one of the most memorable jingles that are out there on a toy. And I want to thank you for being a part of this presentation. Thank you.
Slinky toys are fun toys.
Slinky, for fun, it's a wonderful
All right, we're
toy.
good. Thank you.
What walks downstairs